welcome to the Deadstream. My name is CZ, and I will be your host this episode. And I am joined this afternoon by the Fluff of Nightmares, Lady White Rabbit.
Hello.
We are also joined tonight by the third voice of death, Mortis Media.
Hey guys!
You're listening to episode 1 of the Deadstream. So since this is our first Deadstream, I figure we can go around and everybody introduce yourself. I'm sure there are some new people here. So Rabbit, why don't you start that off? Introduce yourself, introduce your channel.
Hi, I'm Lady White Rabbit. My channel is mostly creepypasta narrations with a little bit of true stories from history that will terrify you mixed in.
And Mort, you want to let them know about your channel?
Yeah, sure. I tell mostly true horror stories. I throw in the occasional creepypasta. And yeah, try and do it every day.
And we've also got OST Maker in the chat, and he is the brilliant mind behind the music that you heard here in the opening of the Deadstream and the music that you'll hear once we conclude.
Nice, hey.
So we got a lot of news to cover today, so let's get right to that. First thing, a lot of milestones have been hit this week. Our very own Mortis Media has just hit 30,000 subscribers, so big congratulations to him.
Woo!
Thanks, guys.
And also hitting 30,000 this week, we've got Southern Cannibal. And are you guys familiar with Pamtree?
No.
No.
Pamtree is, how do I describe this? Like a creepy animation channel who does he'll take different cartoons, like Pixar cartoons or SpongeBob, and make just really raw, creepily animated little stories out of them.
Nice.
And it's all about this demon character named Santiago who appears in every episode and kills everybody.
Oh, right on.
So I've been a big fan of his stuff, and he just hit 200,000 subscribers.
Wow.
Wow,
That's
that's pretty
huge.
good.
Yeah, he started really recently too, and his channel's just been popping really fast. And so this, I think it was today or yesterday on Twitter, there's a user named That Spooky Guy who posted a tweet that said if he gets 30 likes, then CZsWorld will agree to shave his beard, which I never agreed to that. I want to say to start off, but he did get the 30 likes, so I gave him this, that if I reach the 50,000 mark, which I think we're about 5K away right now, by the end of the week, this upcoming week, then I will go through with it and shave my beard.
Nice.
So other news in the community, there are a couple people who have agreed to do face reveals at certain milestones. Are you guys familiar with Lance Creepy Reading?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
So he's said that he's going to do his face reveal at 50,000. So a lot of 50,000 milestones going on right now. And everybody open a new tab. Don't leave the Deadstream, but go on Twitter and tweet at Southern Cannibal because he's agreed to do his face reveal on Halloween.
Hold him to it.
I think what's his name? Darkness Prevails. I think he did his at 100,000, so double 50. But that was a while ago now.
Yeah,
so,
he's been past that for a while.
Yeah.
And neither of you guys have done face reveals at this point, right?
No,
Right.
Yeah.
Rabbit, I know you said that you were interested in doing it at some point in the future. Have you given any thought to when you might want to do that?
My major goal on YouTube was 100,000, so once I hit that goal, that's when I'll be doing it.
Yeah, that's a good goal to have. When I first, about 2 years ago, I made my major goal 10,000, and then I was working towards that for probably a couple years, and then when I hit it, there was no release at all. I immediately wanted to go for 100,000, going after that silver play button.
Exactly.
Have you given any thought as to when you would potentially do a face reveal?
Well, I've been playing around with the idea for a while. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to have it or which specific milestone, but it probably will be a milestone, but I'm just not sure which one just yet.
So everybody in the chat, come up with some ideas for what Mort can do for, or like how they can both do their face reveals, because you got to do a creative face reveal, right? And
Yeah.
like what milestone they should do it at realistically. So why don't we talk about the Patreon scammers that have been invading the YouTube horror community?
Oh, good.
So it started with Mr. Davis tweeting about this scammer by the name of Dominic W. I can bring up the tweet here really fast. So apparently, at the time of tweeting this, 67 people had pledged to this guy, and he didn't even have any content to back that up, which is crazy to me. Like, I don't have a Patreon. Rabbit, you have a Patreon, right?
Yeah, I do.
And like, how did that go for you when you first launched that?
When I first opened up my Patreon, it was because one specific person wanted to fund me reading his project and had no other way to pay me for some reason. So he asked if I would open a Patreon, and I kept it just in the event that somebody wants to support me that way. And a couple people have come forth and said, I really always wanted to support you like this, so I kept it up.
That's so weird to me.
Yeah, I had no idea why that was the only way he could pay me with that. That's what happened.
So like, how long ago was that?
Let's see. It was probably about a year ago.
So have you gotten up to 67 patrons yet?
Oh, certainly not. I think I have 4 right now.
That's
But
great.
shout out to my patrons. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, I think the link is in the description. So if you guys want to support Lady White Rabbit, go ahead down into the description and check out that link. But so this guy has got to be like faking some of his patrons, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I brought up the image that Mr. Davis tweeted. So there's like a description that goes with this guy's Patreon, and he says, "Hey, I want to start making videos on YouTube soon. In order to deliver videos in good quality, I need stuff like a camera or microphone, a video editing program, etc. It would be really nice if you could help me out. Click on Become a Patron to donate." So not only does he not have any content, but he doesn't know like what kind of videos he's going to do.
Oh yeah,
Like-
it's probably not even going to do any videos. He's just taking your money and running with it.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. I mean, people who, I mean, it's sad that I think if some people believe it and they actually roll with it, it's really bad because they don't know that they're about to be scammed. Maybe they're just really nice people thinking, oh, I'll help this person out. But little do they know, nothing will ever come of it. And that's what is so sad because, nothing will ever come of it.
Yeah.
So then after that happened, I guess that Patreon was removed, but then someone added in that the guy changed his name to Anna E. So if you guys see Dominic W. or Anna E. out there, then do not donate to their Patreon because it's most likely a scam.
Yes. For sure.
But I mean, in general, I would say if you see someone who's asking for money and doesn't have like a plan of what they want to do with their content or some kind of content to show for it, then like why would you want to donate in the first place?
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think he's definitely taking advantage of the I think the horror community's plight right now on YouTube, where the horror community is struggling with the ad content. So anybody out there who has a Patreon is because they want to keep putting content on YouTube, and if the scammer is out there, he's just trying to blend in with the rest of them and say, hey, give me money, I'm trying to put content on YouTube. And with that going on, I think people are just feeling sorry for anybody who's asking for help, including scammers.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. And it seems kind of strange. Like I can see where you're coming from with that, but it's also kind of strange that like someone would want to start YouTube at a time like this.
Oh, sure.
in order to make money. Like, I feel like if you're going to start it right now, it's because like you enjoy it and you believe in the content.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Speaking of which, if you guys who are watching this don't know, there's been an ad boycott on YouTube recently, and it's really affected horror channels and like a few other communities on YouTube, like the wrestling community, for example, has been hit hard by it because it basically automatically demonetizes certain types of content. So stuff that's a little bit riskier, like I actually recently heard, I think it was Mr. Creepypasta who tweeted this, and he says that he thinks just the word horror is now being filtered for demonetization.
It's ridiculous.
Which is, yeah, that's crazy to me. But so yeah, a lot of people have not been able to. People who are relying on YouTube for a living haven't been able to continue to do that, and have had to look for other streams of revenue.
Yeah.
It is sad because they poured their hearts into making their channel successful, and for all of it just to be taken away like that, it's really takes the faith out of YouTube, which is sad.
And like I think this applies for all three of us, but I love making the content, and I would do it regardless of if there's monetization involved in it. But like the fact that there is monetization allows me to spend more time on it and spend less time doing other jobs and making the content better.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's exactly how I feel about it. Is I definitely can't rely on YouTube for a living, but I'm definitely able to do more of it, longer content, better quality content for my viewers who deserve better, if I'm getting help with that stuff.
Someone in the chat said we have to rename horror to spooky-scary because that's not going to be filtered, which I have actually seen people doing that, like purposely misspelling words in their titles and stuff.
I don't even include the word horror in my titles. I'll put it in the thumbnail because the thumbnail is not text, but I won't even include it just in case he's right, because I can't risk, it getting no views or being immediately demonetized for one word, which I think is just silly.
Now, what about your tags?
What about my tag? I think it might or might not be in my tags because I have them automatically set. So it just comes on. I might have to check that. That's a good point, actually. Thank you, CZ.
We've got our first super chat. Big thanks to West Dakota.
Nice.
Hey!
For that one. Those of you who watch my channel know that I'm friends with West Dakota. So big thank you for that.
Legend, West Dakota.
Have you guys noticed the monetization starting to come back in recent weeks?
I personally haven't. I never noticed the difference anyway because I'm getting so little off of YouTube. It's hard to tell. So if a percentage is gone or back, it's pennies for me. So it hasn't made much of a difference to me.
As for me, well, I was away for 3 months when it all happened. I mean, I saw it before, and whilst I was away, I didn't make much content, so I couldn't really feel the sting, as it were. But when I came back, and I got my first paycheck, as it were, it was considerably smaller. Just to give you an example, I think I made 10 videos the month before I left, and I got paid a certain amount. And then after doing 1 month of solid work, I end up getting even less than what I did a few months back, but only making 8 videos, which to me was...
You mean like before you went on vacation?
Yeah, before the whole ad thing blew up. I mean, 8 videos, 8 or 9 videos total, 10 videos, whatever. But it was not that many. Got less views, but then 4 months later, I get more views and post every day, and that gets less money. It was just crazy.
Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah. So,
well, do you want to explain? Do you want to explain to everybody like what you were doing before, and then what you've been doing since you got back from vacation?
So before I was just doing 1 video every 4 days if I could. I mean, if any one of you guys on the chat listen to me or watch me, you'd know that before it was every 4 days. But then when I got back from vacation, I thought I'm going to give daily a go because everyone's saying that daily is the key to,
Mm-hmm.
having the algorithm work in your favor. So I thought I'd give a stab at it and thought, okay, well, hopefully it will work out. But so far, it hasn't worked out as I've expected. But I've contacted YouTube just to check because the figures are a little bit different from what it says on my dashboard. So I'm going to have to wait and see what happens. So I could be wrong right now, but I'm just going to have to wait to find out. But right now, it's not looking fantastic. So
Joe's guide to everything asks, "Are you on Discord or Skype?" I'm kind of hesitant to answer that because I don't want to get DDoSed. But if you tweet at me, I'll let you know later. Yeah, for me personally, I guess my channel started to grow a lot more after the adpocalypse happened. So, like, I think that's one thing. Like, I try to look at everything in a positive way, and I think that's one thing that helped me. Is a lot of people when that happened, like, took down their content and kind of quit YouTube, and I think that allowed me to. West Dakota says you're on Skype. Discord doesn't have that awful of sound quality. But as I was saying, the monetization on YouTube, since I was growing at that time, I don't think that I would be able to tell the difference as like what it would have been before, as opposed to like right after the adpocalypse happened. But I do think like in the last couple of weeks, as opposed to like the 3 months before that, things have started to come back a little bit.
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, there are other creators that I know, like the Paranormal Scholar, really great person, and they've also suffered immensely. And I mean, they had 96% revenue drop. I mean, 96%. That's crazy. That's like earning $100 one minute and then $4 the next. It blows my mind. It's really sad as well because they work really hard on like I know everyone does, but I mean their work is really really good.
So let's move on to our next news topic. There's been an accusation of subbotting in the community, and this was brought on by you guys are familiar with Master DK, Master O Horror. I don't know which one he's going by now.
Yes.
But he brought this to my attention, and I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but it basically started with this tweet from Deadly Horror 1 that said, if I go missing for about a week, I might be grounded. And then this guy, Rogue Basilisk, said, is that because you bought 500 subs? And so Swamp Dweller jumped in and showed the social blade for this guy, and his subs are kind of going up like 5, +5, +1, +4, and then this one day it's like +500, and the views don't seem to have changed.
Oh.
Slightly suspicious.
Yeah.
And I think when you see something like that, like I think that's proof that something went wrong, but I don't think it's necessarily proof that it was the creator.
Yeah, maybe you can always people can always do that without you noticing just for your account, can't they? They just submit the account they want botted and they get botted.
Yeah, I assume you can. Like you don't have to be the owner of the account to sign up for that kind of thing. I don't know why you would want to buy subscribers for somebody else.
Right.
Exactly.
The Untitled says YouTube police are here.
I see that.
But that's kind of a good point because that's supposed to be against the YouTube rules.
Service.
Yeah, and if you do that, supposedly you can get your account terminated. But
yeah, that's right.
But like, how do they know if you're doing it for yourself or for another channel?
It is a good point.
Like, it seems kind of like a scary thing that somebody could just come to your channel and like buy you subscribers. So it seems like a good thing, but it's not because none of them are real subscribers, and then like potentially get your channel taken down from it.
Right, yeah.
I assume that they have some kind of defense against that. Otherwise, we probably would have seen like all the big channels have been taken down by now. But I'm curious to know like how they would figure out the difference between those things.
They probably have a complicated algorithm that can just, figure it all out.
Well, they are known for their complicated algorithms.
Oh yes, yes indeed.
Last bit of news. You guys are familiar with "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared."
Of course.
"Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared" has got to be like one of my favorites, like horror related channels on YouTube, and they said that they're going to be dropping a huge announcement sometime in the next couple months. And they said, "We're not done yet" in the tweet.
Ooh, nice.
So any ideas on what that might be?
Hug Me, I'm Scared movie that nobody can get through.
Oh, that would be interesting.
I've only ever watched one of their videos, sadly, so I don't really have much to comment on it.
Is that the original, like the first episode?
I think it was the original, and then I never really went
That's the
back to
best
watch
one
the
anyway.
rest. Yeah.
I don't know. I really like the computer one, and I really like the last one as well.
I like Time too.
Yeah, Time's a good one. Yeah, Mort, you should definitely go and check some of those out when you get the chance.
Yeah, post-stream homework.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got a lot to do after this stream.
Oh yes.
But like there's been so much that's come about surrounding this series. Like people have come up with their own conspiracy theories on the meaning behind it. And,
Oh, sure.
Like if I look at it, I can kind of see like a meaning behind it. And there are definitely like recurring elements that are not a coincidence. I actually had the chance to see like a panel of theirs last year, 2016 VidCon, and everybody was trying to like ask them about like the meaning behind this and the meaning behind that, and they made it very clear that they were not going to like divulge that information, but people kept asking away, and it was just like I was surrounded by like crazy tinfoil people. It was so funny. And the way they handled it was awesome.
That's pretty cool. I'm just saying, if they made a video game, I'd play the hell out of that.
That would be cool too. I mean, what I personally would love to see is another season.
Oh, sure.
Well, Rabbit, on the last episode, how they kind of like scroll through all of the different teachers from the series, and then they go on and they have new ones like the shovel and the saxophone who teaches you how to buy a canoe. So I think it would be really cool if they did another season and explored like some of those characters and gave them their own episodes.
Oh, sure.
So moving on from the news, we've got a couple of user-submitted stories that we are going to jump into in a second here. If you guys have your own stories that you want to submit, you can do it to my email, czsworld@gmail.com, and just throw Deadstream up in the subject line, and maybe we'll read it in a future episode of the Deadstream. So our first story that we've got here is Fort Worth Cop by Glass Potato. Mort, do you want to take the lead on that one?
Sure thing. I just want to say that it is an amazing name, Glass Potato.
Glass Potato.
With 2 T's, or 3 T's in potato, rather.
Potato.
And if you guys have anything to say about this story in the chat, feel free to throw that out there, and we'll be reading some of your comments as we go along, and also giving our own commentary.
My computer's not liking it. It's not loading up any text.
Oh, dang.
Rabbit, do you want to take the lead on this one?
Yeah,
Sure, I
sorry
can do
guys.
that. It's all good. I'm just a cop.
Oh, great.
Oh,
We're off
rookie.
to a great start. just a cop.
A rookie, to be exact. But anyways, I've been working at the Fort Worth Police Department for 1 week at a time. That is all. At the time, that is all went down.
Oh man, this is going to be a long read.
I read this ahead of time too, and I know there's some parts where I have to read it over. I've been driving and eating donuts, and no, not like the cliche fat, lazy cop. I had passed and I nearly got to a stop sign, but I was finishing the last donut, and I hear the loudest blood-curtailing scream that came out of the house I passed by.
How
I
did that whole
immediately
thing start? Like with cops and donuts?
Oh boy, it's probably like an
Yeah, I
old
was thinking that
50s
too.
movie.
I was thinking The Simpsons as well, but I feel like that may have been a
Mm,
cliche before.
that's true. It could have been some obscure old movie that was like a cop and a donut, and then it just passed on, as cliches do.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be
Someone in the
something
comments
like
tell
related to
us.
entertainment, right?
I would think so.
What did you say, Mort?
I'll say, can someone please just like put it in the comment,
Right.
and I'll read it out when they have it out there.
I hate blood curtailing screams too. Let's see here. By the way, there's very few periods, which is why I'm kind of reading like a run-on sentence. Let's see. I immediately parked my car at the house and I pounded at the door saying, "This is the police." And all of a sudden, the screams stopped. I was a little scared, but I tried to sound like I was tough. I immediately called for backup and waited in the car for what seemed like an hour. Charlie finally arrived and said, "Where the hell were you?" Charlie said, "I'm sorry, man. I was just eating lunch at McDonald's." I said, "Your bid, Mac, in not important ant the moment."
Oh man. Just so you guys know, when you guys send us these stories, you should proofread them. Otherwise, we're going to read them for how they are.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
we're not
I'm
taking any
reading it
time to
as
clean
it
these
is
up
written.
before we throw these on the Deadstream. We're just like, this is our first time reading it.
Charlie said, "Okay, so what's happening?" I said, "I think someone was murdered at this house." Charlie said, "Why did you not go in and investigate yet?" I said, "Well, I just started, so I'm not so sure if I should go in or not." Charlie said, "Well, let's go in. Let's just go in." I replied with an okay in a shaky voice. We burst the door down, and in front of the windows next to the door lies an old curved blute trail.
Is that like a type of cereal or something?
The blute trail? Charlie said, "Damn it, it's too late." I said, "Just let's look, okay?" We followed the blood trail over to the basement door. There, Charlie said. "It's our job, and come on, don't be a wuss." I said, "Shut up, and let's go in there. Go in there." The sentence is, "Shut up, and let's go in there, go in there." I started walking in there, and as I motioned for Charlie to come here, to me, I heard a loud chewing sound. Charlie walked over to the door, and we pulled out our flashlights, and we prepared ourselves.
I hope it's donuts. Like, just a whole horde of zombies in there just eating donuts.
That'll be a new cliche.
It wasn't blood. It was just the cherry jam filling.
It wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't blood. It was,
Loot.
or it wasn't zombies. It was Chief Wiggum.
We bursted the door down, and the first thing I saw in the room was a creepy, humanoid-like creature. With no hesitation, we fired a few shots at the creature. Nothing happened. Charlie yelled, Let's get what now?"
You really start to wonder, like, what the intentions were when they make the same error twice in a row.
Oh, yeah.
The creature from the Black Lagoon.
That's just how they think creature is spelled then. We raced to the door. I won, but before Charlie could catch up, he was grabbed in the neck. I tried to save him, but it was too late. The creature already bit his neck.
You know, it'd be nice if they described the creature in any way.
Which we're now calling the creature. As I saw Charlie dying, I left out the front door and made it alive as more backup arrived.
Sorry, Charlie.
I said, Charlie is dead. John said, what? Charlie is dead. I replied with a simple nod. John said, God damn it, what the hell happened? I said, well, there was this Kretcher in there, and John interrupted me and said, no, there's no such Kretcher. That can do that?
You know, that's
So
the
what's a
most that's the most sensible thing that I've heard in this entire story. There's no such thing as a Kretcher.
Yeah, it's very true.
Like, that's not a word.
I said, just go in there and brace yourself. He motioned for the rest of the cops to come.
Harry reads in the comments, a Kretcher let out a blue curtailing scream.
Oh, man. He motioned for the rest of the cops to come. I called the SWAT team over, the whole team. As I was waiting for the SWAT team to arrive, I heard more screams coming from the house.
Anita Green, too scary, stop.
I'm so sorry. I must go on. I got in my car and locked all of my doors. I said in relief, finally, the sweat tem is here. I told them to go in the house. This is a mass murderer. In the house. Is a mass murder in there that killed Charlie, John, Jesse, and that new kid. Wow. They quickly rushed in the house and nothing. No screams, and nobody came out. I called A2 Truck Company to come and tow the cars and the SWAT truck. So that's it. Just everybody get towed away, and we'll never speak of this again.
Yeah, right.
Ooh. A few years passed by, and the house still had the screams. There is now a cop that patrols the house, and people do dare to go in what's now called the House of Terror. To be continued.
To be continued.
To be continued.
What, did they send us a part 2?
It was last updated in January, and I don't see anything else about it. Even comments are not listed.
A lot of people are
I need
asking who wrote the
of
story.
that Cratchit in my video.
A lot of
Who
people
wrote the story of the glass
Glass-
potato?
glass potato with 3 T's.
See, yeah.
And the name of it is
Glass
Fort Worth
potato.
Cop. Well, it's really a shame that he didn't include part 2 of this wonderful, wonderful story for us to dig into.
Yeah, we would have loved to have read it again. I wish I could.
So, I really like this protagonist because he really has like no emotional regard for anything. His friend gets killed.
Yeah.
He runs out of there. Like, 4 of his team members gets killed. He's like, all right, let's tow the cars.
Yeah, that's the resolution, is just everybody get towed away and we'll never speak of this again. What?
He's cool with that. Doesn't matter. They're dead, so what? He's got a job to do.
I'm pretty sure the news would be all over it if the cops were all murdered.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Because a lot of these stories, like the character goes back and it's like, oh, I saw on the news that there was a Kretcher or some kind of murderer
There was a
that got caught at that house later, and I thought like how close of an encounter I have, but this one, it just ends.
Oh yeah, it's just done. I couldn't be bothered to tell you anything else.
Like all those people die and he leaves.
Oh boy.
No responsibility at all.
No.
The Untitled says
Just-
he's
just
the
don't-
Terminator. I think that's like a good fan theory for this story, even though it's already a fan story.
Oh sure.
He will be back.
I'll be
The
back.
Kretcher.
The Kretcher from the future.
Yeah, it's definitely a word we're coining now, is the Kretcher.
Just every story.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's a joke, but there's a commenter in here, Carrie Temporary, who says proofread, but spells both words wrong. I think that's a joke.
Well done. Well done.
The Tale of the Kretcher, Part 2, TOO.
Oh, just amazing. It was amazing the lack of periods in the story. It was one giant run-on sentence with a lot of commas, but no periods. So they had some punctuation, but not good punctuation.
Well, yeah, my favorite part was like they took the effort to like create new paragraphs and stuff, which a lot of times,
Oh,
like
sure.
when we were reading stories before, we just kind of got like the wall of text, and we were talking about
Hmm.
how like those are really hard to read because like there's no structure to it. But this one has paragraph breaks, but they come in like the middle of the sentence.
Yeah, I was gonna say almost too much structure because it would be like I paragraph said like that's who taught you how to write that way.
So thank you, Glass Potato, for submitting that
Potato.
story. And
Yeah.
if you have part two on the way, we would love to get our hands on that and read it here on the Deadstream.
Mm, yes, I'm curious about the Crutcher.
As am I.
So our next one was actually a YouTube comment that I got that I thought would make an interesting story for the Deadstream. And I think she's in the chat here. It is White Knight,
Oh, what's up,
WIGHT.
White Knight? Hey.
Hey.
So I will take the lead on this one. When I was 7, me and my mom went down to the local movie theater to watch Friday the 13th. Mind you, this place was very, very old, so obviously it had a few ghost stories, as all old places do. One of them was a lady who had fallen in love with an actor that would often perform plays there. I don't remember much, but I believe she had stumbled upon him cheating. So, to save his career, he murdered her by throwing her off the balcony seating with a rope tied around her neck. I'm liking this already.
Mm.
The washroom was unfortunately upstairs next to the balcony where she had died, so she was unable to get to the bathroom. No, I'm just kidding.
um,
Where she had died at a young age. I was more curious than scared. That changed. You may think this is laughable, but when I went upstairs, only a lady in a white sleeping gown was sitting facing the screen. My mind didn't register until I entered the bathroom, when a pure wave of dread and horror hit me. I was so scared, I forgot to use the wash and ran. Have you guys ever
oh,
had
that's
that
the
happen?
worst part. Oh yeah.
So scared you forgot to use the washroom. Usually,
Of going to the bathroom, even if a ghost is after you, you should stop and wash your hands.
because usually when I'm reading stories, it's the other way around. Like they're so scared that they accidentally use the bathroom. I swear when I ran down the stairs, I looked back and saw her standing there, smiling warmly. Later on, I found out the actor died soon after, when the unstable, rickety stairs that protruded from the theater that allowed performance to go to the bridge above the stage crumbled beneath him, leaving him to fall 4 stories to his untimely demise. They say that he continued to torture her even after death. Even when I saw her, I felt calm, but what I felt in that bathroom was him.
Oh no, that's inappropriate.
That is inappropriate.
Oh, we got Rainbot in the chat. Hello, Rainbot.
Hey there.
So, what's like the true story here? Like the true horror of this story? Just the whole backstory, the history behind this theater, or the
Mm-hmm.
ghost story aspect to it, or the fact that there's a man in the women's bathroom.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a problem.
A
Well,
huge violation. There can't be a ghost guy in the female
Yeah.
bathroom. It's outrageous.
well, it kind of reminds me of the whole
Yeah.
Harry Potter thing.
What, Moaning Myrtle?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I always thought that was weird that she inhabited the men's bathroom.
Oh, wasn't it the girls' bathroom?
Was it?
I I can't remember.
Who's to
Maybe. I mean,
say?
I'm not entirely sure. I haven't read it in so long, but
It's been
we
too
could
long.
both be right. Yeah.
If you guys know, then let us know in the chat. West Dakota. What if he identifies as a woman? Transgender people have rights too.
But ghost transgender.
Well, I don't know
If he were transgender, why would he love the woman if you were confused about his identity.
Can we just start like a new hashtag, like Ghost Trans Rights Matter?
It's turned into a real political creepypasta.
Okay, Rainbot's got the answer. Rainbot pulling through for us. She was creeping on Harry while he was bathing. Which, now that you bring
Oh,
that
no.
up, I kind of remember that.
Oh yeah.
I always thought that
Like-
those baths that they had in Harry Potter were so cool.
Yeah.
Like they
If
just
only they would.
they live at this magical school and they get like these huge hot tubs to bathe in.
Yeah, it's a good hashtag. I like it.
Everybody,
Ghost trans lives matter.
Ghost trans lives matter. Yep.
everybody,
that's it.
jump on Twitter and start hitting that one up.
Start confusing Twitter with that one, please. And start talking about the Kretcher.
All right. So, believe that is all the time we have. So it seems that our time has come. But don't worry, because we're going to be doing new Dead streams every month. If you have a story that you'd like us to read on the show, proofread it. And if you have any news that might be going on around the YouTube horror community that we might be able to talk about, send an email to CZsWorld@gmail.com. The music in the Deadstream is composed by the incredible OST maker. You may have heard his work in my narration series, All Dainte Creepypasta. So if there are any music fans out there, looking for his link in the description, and go ahead and subscribe to OST Maker. Rabbit, where can the people find you on social media?
You can find me on Facebook and Twitter, just searching White Rabbit.
And Mort, how can the fans connect with you on the internet?
Just at Mortis Media, Twitter, Instagram. That's pretty much it.
You can find me. I have a new Twitter handle, CZsWorld_horror. And remember to subscribe to CZsWorld for new horrors every week. Ring that death bell for notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Assuming we both survive.